up your head, pick up your body. Get on the bus, it's time to party. It's Gregory. It is a Saturday night, Gregory. Take your socks off and take your pants on. Get in the car and drive on.
Recording?
We are recording.
I don't trust you.
It says live in the top left corner.
I don't think that says anything. Oh, or actually, as I was doing this, I realized this is just a Ron Burgundy joke from Anchorman that I was going to do. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. And then he cocksucker. And then he just does that. There's a little bit of Ron Burgundy that lives in me. And I think some comedians try to not be, they try to not be Dave Attell. I try not to be Ron Burgundy because that guy, that character is very much Gus Dakota. Yeah, and he's in my soul. He's just hello, fuck you, suck my dick. You know, he's always there, and so I have to I have to work to not be him. I bet I may have just ruined my comedy career by telling you that, because now anyone will ever hear is Ron Burgundy when they go back and listen, and it'll turn them off.
I don't hear Ron Burgundy. I can see the influence, like when you hear Big J or Sam Morril, you see the influence of Dave Attell, but you don't hear Dave Attell.
Right.
So I was more like that. When you do that, you're very. But you don't always talk like that.
I know. I don't know. Oh yeah. Anyway,
you also don't use the non sequiturs that Burgundy does.
What's the guy? What does that mean?
Like when he just says like the Human Torch was denied a bank loan. Like you don't do that for no reason. You're a little more deliberate in your and what you talk about.
All right. Let me send you an email.
Okay.
I'm gonna send it to you right now. I'm just gonna tell it to you. Oh, no, because then you have to edit it later.
Yeah, and then everyone has it.
All right. What if I make you guess the word?
You can type it in the private chat.
No, I'm going to say things to you, and then you'll guess. And then you'll guess the email. And then the word. Okay, so I'll tell you things personally. No, this is impossible to do, to make you guess. I don't know that we have enough secrets that I could tell you the secrets and you could guess these names. All right.
I know these people.
Well, it's Matt Wayne's email.
I don't know Matt Wayne.
He's great. I just want to. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, just type in the private chat.
Okay. I'm totally comfortable with the world knowing his email, though. You know,
if he's cool with it. I don't.
Who knows if he's cool with it? Is he cool? Are you cool? I'll go tell him. Okay, we're gonna. Okay, come on. Okay, you're coming. Okay, having you. Did I spell it right?
I would assume so.
How would you know? Oh wait, I have a computer here. But your call, pal.
The words I said it right now. The words that I know look like they're spelled the same, unless he's with gmeal.com.
Oh, he might be with Gmail. He's a fat piece of shit. He's actually not fat. He's actually very in shape. He used to be. I'm way fatter than him. I'm gonna rib him for being at Gmeal when he comes on. I had a cold brew, so I am flying a little today. I know that I told you I wasn't going to be doing it anymore, but I also thought if I was going to do it on my own, why not get hopped up on liquid cocaine? See, I like that joke. That's like a joke that's a standard joke, is you just mess the word up.
Yeah.
And then it's funny. Like instead of saying cocaine, you say cocaine. You know, it's like I'm a little bit of cocaine. Do a little cocaine tonight. You know, that's always funny. That's for everybody. If you're listening at home and you want to be funny, that's an easy joke that you do when you're just hanging out. You just say a word funny, and then people will laugh. You know, I'll try to do a few more of those throughout the podcast. Anyway, I want to tell you about my trip. What? Go ahead. Sorry.
I thought you were enjoying South Beach dandruff, but
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. Sandriff.
South Beach dandruff.
South Beach dandruff. What does that mean?
I was trying to say cocaine in a fun way.
Oh. How did I not get that? My brain is so ADHD that not only was I forgetting, I already had moved on from saying words funny, that I was into a religion conversation, and you said South Beach cocaine or South Beach dandruff, and I went, do I have dandruff? What's South Beach? Like I was completely gone already. That was very funny, and people laughed at home, I would imagine.
I hope so. But you were in Vegas this for Atlanta before that, so yeah.
Did you look at you trying to do this? Look at you, good. If God love you, look at you trying to set me up. That was a nice setup. You have problems with your wife. Tell me about that.
But I give the old Byron Allen.
They should do those types of interviews on Like when they do like 60 Minutes and like they interview OJ, they're like, we got OJ, right? They should do them like Byron Allen, where they're like, you cut the head off of your wife. What was that like? And then they have to tell the story of the murder, you know?
What's the hardest part? Is it the beginning or the end?
Mr. Dahmer, when you eat a human, what's the most flavorful part? And then he stands up and he's like, I gotta tell you, when you're eating other people. That could have been the clip, but I think I should have. See, the coffee makes me go too fast if I stay in the pocket. How about this?
Still going. I will just cut this little section checking out of that clip. But I agree with you. Where it's like, you would think it would be the thigh, and it's actually the ankle shanks. They can a delicious soup.
The cartilage in the nose is very chewable.
Yeah, people always want to throw that away. Don't throw that away. You gotta keep it, grind it up. It's a great base for a gravy.
I do think the buttocks is the most flavorful. The ass has got to be here's the thing about the ass. Mm-hmm. It's going to have the most fat. It's going to have it's going to be the most tender, but you're getting dangerously close to the butthole. So if you eat too much of it, then you're eating butthole. And that's everyone knows in cannibal world, the butthole is the worst part of the body to eat. 1, 2, rubbery. 2, it's very small. Doesn't even fill you up. 3, loaded with human shit.
Yeah. No one likes South American calamari.
There we go. You did it again. Give him 2 points. Where's the other mic? We need a mic to mic you, because if I'm just talking to you, who's micing you? I gotta go, Mike, give him 2 points. Other mic, new mic, ugly mic.
Another mic.
Yeah, we gotta get an uglier mic. You're not ugly. We need to get an ugly mic so that you can make fun of him. So I make fun of you and you make fun of ugly Mike. Oh, hey, fuck you, ugly Mike. He's the mystery man. Oh, you asking how much money I have in my pocket?
Sure.
Oh boy, look at this.
But let me guess. It's all American, right?
Oh, always American. I live on this.
Let me guess. It's gonna say there's gonna be. I'm gonna say there's $200, 160 in 20s, a 10, and the rest in small bills.
First of all, it's exactly $200, but it's all 20s. So I'll give you 2 points. Ugly Mike, write him up for 2 points. So you want to know why I have $200? I'm gonna tell you. This is gonna get me in trouble. Thank God my wife doesn't listen to this podcast. Last night I was at Levity Live in Nyack, New Jersey.
Special guest, right?
Yeah, well, it was Louis. I was opening for Louis. I wasn't opening. I was hosting. So there's a difference that people don't get. The club booked me. Louis didn't book me, but Louis knows who I am. So I was in the room with Louis. And you ever do this? So I don't know if this is a thing you do. I'm driving there for 3 days. They asked me to do the show, and then all of the shows I'm going, if Louis is a dick to me, I'm going to fight him. He's going to say something rude, and I'm going to call him out. I'm going to go, what, you fucking sexual harasser? You fucking, you fat piece of shit. I'll fuck you. First of all, Louis, there's no reason why I would think he would argue with me. But for some reason, I got it in my head. He didn't say hello to me once. So now I hate him. I don't hate him. He just didn't say hello to me once. So then in my head, I'm like, he's going to be rude to me.
In the past, he didn't say hello to you one time.
One time. He didn't say hello to me, and he also I wasn't even looking at him.
I was in another room. He didn't come out of his way to come upstairs and let me know that he was there.
Yeah. So I don't here's the thing with him, with Louis. He's not like a super outgoing or nice person, but he's not like a bad guy, but he's not a great guy. The thing. And it's like I don't really care what people know, or I don't know if that's like rude. There's just some people who are like, not everyone is great as me. I am a classically trained in the art of being wonderful, right? Some of these guys, man, you didn't smile for that. It makes me think you think I'm being serious. Well, I am great, but I'm not I try really hard to be outgoing.
No. That face was because I know exactly what you're talking about with Louis. He's not a bad person, but he's not necessarily a good person.
Yes.
In terms of what that word means. Like, you are a good person, and he's not at that same. So it's like, he's in between. He's chaotic neutral.
And they tried to get him for cancel him. Now he didn't deserve that, but he should got a parking ticket. You know what I mean? It's he's not raping women, but he isn't moving his car on street sweeping, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? We could throw him a couple of $45 tickets every now and again.
Right.
Anyway,
and by the way, we're not saying he's a bad person for that incident. We just mean that he's not going to help you move. Or he'll pretend he doesn't see. If you're on the side of the road looking destitute, like like you just got robbed, and he drives by, he'll probably pretend he doesn't see you. He just doesn't. He doesn't want the hassle in his life. That's what we mean.
He's not. Yeah, he's not a terrible. He's not He's not a great. He's like fine. Anyway, he's always nice enough. I don't know. I feel bad. He's not going to listen to this podcast. And also, anyone who listens to this podcast has no way of getting in touch with him because he's going to ignore you. So, like, this isn't getting back to him. You know what I mean? I don't if it does, it's like, what are you going to do? He already didn't help me in my career. What do I care? I don't care if anyone helps me in my career. My career needs no help. I have what I need, and it's you people who are listening to me right now. And here's the thing. I will say this, though. I watched him last night. He's still one of the greatest comedians who ever lived. You know what I mean? I still watch it and I go, I got to learn how to fight just so I could beat him on that angle. Although I honestly think that I'm a better comedian than him. Is that crazy? I know it's crazy, but I just go, I'm the best. I honestly think I have incredibly low self-esteem, but then there's a part of me that goes, you are the funniest human being who's ever lived, bar none. Now, that being said, funny isn't something that's rankable, right? Right. Funny is something that is very specific to your tastes. And to my tastes, I am the funniest at what I do. So to what Greg finds funny, Greg is delivering the funniest. So really, it's this circle of I think I'm the best for me. You know what I mean? So no one can make me laugh harder than me because I know exactly what I find funny. And it's everything I do. So just like completely, I don't know. Moving forward. Now, why was I talking about this? Oh, right. We have to stay on target. Mike, that's your new job.
Yeah. You're explaining why you had $200 in your pocket.
Yes. So the clubs were open. And Louis was very nice, by the way. I go in there. He brought his dog. He was very nice. And I was like, hey, Louis, he was a great. And I was worried that he was going to have some. This is another psychotic thing I had in my mind. He's going to bring an opener who isn't as funny or as good as me. And they're going to talk down to me. And then I got to fight them too. Now I got to bury everyone on this goddamn. First of all, he ends up bringing Bobby Kelly. Yeah. So now I get there. And it's just one of my favorite people. Louis is very nice. I came with boxing gloves on as if I had to fight everyone in the show for no reason because I talked myself into a wild frenzy. Bob is great. I almost cried. I was so happy to see him because all of, whatever. Yeah. I go on. The crowd is amazing. At the end, they do a thing. Louis doesn't like to get checks, which makes total sense. He doesn't want to get checks during his recorded self-audition. My alarm just went off. I don't know what I'm self-auditioning for. Maybe for me. Maybe to be on my own show. So, what was I talking about?
Well, right now you were talking about Louis and how nice he was, and
he was fine. Anyway, no, he was nice. He was nice. He was very nice. I'm kidding. He actually was very. He was very. Nice.
You're getting to the $200 situation.
Oh, right. So I had to go on after he was done, so they could drop checks during me, which is like the greatest nightmare scenario because not only do you have to follow Louis, you have to then eat checks. You have to perform for people who are trying to figure out math and are also furious because Louis got off and they want to leave. Like they can't wait 5 more minutes. They need to run out. So I go on and like I didn't want to.
People in there were doing that thing where it's I guess it's free. I guess maybe Louis paying for it. It's in their mind. Oh, we didn't get a check. I guess we. I heard he does this sometimes. All right. Fuck! I gotta pay for this. I wouldn't have ordered that second batch of chicken wings if I didn't think he was paying for it.
Yeah, they think, and the club is like, you need to be performing comedy because that will freeze them in their tracks. Because it's like a deer watching a car coming at them. They're watching someone about to die, so they won't run away as you're performing. But I didn't want to come on and do material because it's like material feels like now I'm the host thinking he can go on after Louis, right? So I'm like, well, I'll just tell them what's happening and be free. I'll tell them, hey guys, just want you to know, like, we're doing the checks now, so I got to come up here and talk. So this is crazy, but just pay your checks quick. What this did was ignite the audience into a fury because they were like, well, why is the club doing this? Why is the club? And everyone is furious. One guy in the front was dying. He was just like listening and like really cool. I think he might have been a Rad Dudecast fan. Also, when they said, so this kind of happened, and I'm gonna get to the $200. When Jiu-Jitsu Joe, who is the sound guy at Levity, who's one of the greatest people ever, he goes, what kind of music do you want to come up to? I go, can I send you a file? And he was like, absolutely. So now he brought me up to the Friday Night Greg theme. Once he goes, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. And he hit the music and then started doing like the intro shows. I heard some guy go, woo! I heard some guy like heard the song and lose it. And then they said Greg Stone. And then the one guy went nuts, like hearing my name because no one knew I was on the show unless you listened to last week's episode. So anyway, I did 5 to 7 minutes, which felt like 3 hours after Louis last night, trying to tell stories that people were not interested in. But then I ended up going into material. Like I then was like, fuck it, you gotta do material. So I did like this hospital bit I've been doing for 50 fucking years. But it always works. And I was whatever. And then like I ended pretty strong. So that was positive. Anyway, after that, I was like, I'm in Nyack. There's a strip club down the street. I'm gonna go to a strip club. I'm gonna just see, I want to see a titty. I'm gonna see a titty and I'm gonna go home. First of all,
world.
Right. And here's the thing. I go, why, Greg? Because then smart Greg goes.
Gonna catch that double Delta variant.
Let me tell you this. I didn't even think of that for a second. I didn't even think as you say this, a strip club's probably the worst place to go post-COVID. A lot of things, as you say that, the story that I'm about to tell you makes a little bit more sense. So
okay.
Yeah. So I was like, I want to see a titty. But then my smart brain, Greg, Matt Wayne texted. Can you send him an invite? He's on standby.
I did.
Oh no, he said standby. Just looking for. Oh yeah. Okay, never mind. So anyway, I'm like, I'm gonna see a titty. This is not on you, Mike. He'll sign it when he signs in.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna go see a titty, but then my smart brain is like, Greg, you're gonna go to a strip club by yourself. That's weird. And then I was like, well, is it weird? I think it's all weird. Anyway, just see a titty, and then you have something to masturbate to go home anyway. And I go, all right, go. Because I'm negotiating with myself. But if they charge a cover, you're not paying a cover. And I went, deal. If they're charging a cover, not paying a cover. I go there. Guy goes, $10 to get in. I went, absolutely. Immediately gave him $10. Immediately gave him $10. I walk in, and let me tell you this. There was no strippers. There was just 5 people at a bar with a hot bartender, and there was one stripper who was talking to a guy who looked like Santa Claus. And he was just like, you know how like the strippers will stand by like one dude when they're waiting? So she was just talking to Santa Claus for like, I don't know. He was like, I'm not letting her go, so everybody else is just here. And well, there's no strippers here. So I'm just at a bar that I paid $10 to get into. So then the bartender comes over, and I'm like, and also I pulled out $200. Way too much money. I don't know why I did. I was just like, I'm going to party with myself. And then I got there and I'm like, what are you doing, man? So then I get in, and it's just this empty room with 5 people. There was Santa Claus, and there was a bunch of, I don't know if this is racist, but this is a classic person. There's this classic like immigrant Hispanic man who just clearly got out of a shift and looks just like, I am going to just looks destitute, right? Like glaze of sweat from years of work, like maybe doesn't have a lot of people going on, but he goes, well, I'm here. And they tell you this is my kind of guy, right? So you get these guys drunk, you're having a party, but also they get a little weird sometimes.
It can go from friendly to fight really quickly.
Yeah. So I sit at the bar, bartender comes over, and she's like, you want a drink? And I was like, I'll just have a drink, right? And I go, I go, give me a Bud Light. And she goes, cool, $16. And I went, oh no, you don't get, I was like, do you have you don't get to charge strip club prices in an empty room, right? You have to charge me regular price. You have to charge me regular prices. And she was like, yeah, I'm sorry. This is the strip. You got to pay strip club prices. But there's no strippers here. And then she goes, well, there is one. There's one over there. And I went, the girl with Santa Claus. And I was like, she's only working for Santa Claus. You got to charge Santa Claus $16 and then charge me $5. So anyway, I was there for maybe 15 minutes. I got up and I left. And the guy looks at me as I'm walking out like he's going to want his money back. And I just went, keep the money. I gave him the money because it was like, keep your weird business of letting people into a room open for Santa Claus and my old Mexican friend. Now, that is why I had $200 in my pocket, because there is like, look, man, I tell you that I really want to be a good person, but there is this deviant inside of me, as we know, who is this sexual man. Matt said he's ready to rip. You could bring him on whatever. Okay. We're only gonna do like 5 or 10 minutes. Oh, you sent him an invite?
Yeah, he's already got the invite. He just needs to click on it. Okay. Maybe it wasn't empty because of COVID. Maybe it was just the day after Independence Day, and they all requested that day off to observe. Yeah.
Also, it's not only it's COVID, it's a Monday night.
Yeah.
This is the Monday night section of the strip club. So maybe they all requested off after 4th of July. A lot of patriots.
Yeah. There's no football yet. It's not this isn't the money making time.
Am I a bad guy for going to a strip club on a Monday by myself?
I wouldn't call you a bad guy for that. I would foolish.
Not a great guy.
For not realizing.
A fool? I'd call you a fool. I like to see a titty every now and again. I get people don't. I like the strip club because there's no people. Some people get mad. Oh, Mr. Wayne, Wayne Brain. Do you know Mike? Mike in my phone. Mike, you know what, dude? Because he used to do that podcast, but now he does my podcast. That's my producer.
I don't know anybody. But it's nice to see you and meet you.
I love that you believe that the sound is coming through your microphone right now.
Oh, wait.
Yeah. Click on the button, you cocksucker.
Oh my God, Maron. Hold on.
Maron. Let me tell you, Mike, while Matt is setting this up, Matt is what we like to call like yourself, a traditional Italian person. Not traditional. He's an Italian.
How is this not working?
It might be. It sounds fine.
You said it's not working.
Honorary. Well, it sounds like it's coming through your computer. Mike will talk to you.
Yeah, I go to the cam mic setting.
Okay.
And then select the mic.
Sorry, I'm got my head up my ass here.
Don't you ever be sorry. This is how we do this. This is how this podcast runs. I asked you to come on 3 minutes ago, and you set up a computer and a mic. I wasn't even going to have Mike, the producer, on this pod. I was going to do it by myself. I just keep adding people.
Is this better?
Oh,
much better.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
All right. I'm sorry. My wife, she hit all the microphones and the computer. I didn't know where anything was.
Women be hiding mics. That's what Chris Rock used to always say.
Yeah, it's like she's working a job that's real, and I'm stressing her out with where are the microphones? Greg Stone is waiting for me, and all I need is a microphone. How could you do this to me?
Let me tell you this. You don't even need a microphone for this podcast. I can let you sign in. You sign language in. Sign in.
Also, if you want me to turn off my AC, if it's making a fucking noise, I'll turn it off right now.
Well, that's a mic question.
He will make his wife sweat. No, it's fine.
Oh, okay. So I didn't know. All right.
There will be a sweaty lady working in this house right now. So that Greg Stone gets the show he needs.
The show I need is I just love the chaos of being like, we're to invite people the last second, make everyone figure that out. Maybe they come on. Matt, first of all, before we get started on Matt Wayne, one of the funny men of America, one of the classically funny human beings, great comedian. We came up together in the mic scene. Also has got his thing called Wimbledon. Got a thing called he knows a guy named Wimbledon who's been performing on his Instagram, who's telling me everything I need to know about Wimbledon, keeping me updated.
I'm trying to get people into tennis, man.
Yeah,
I love tennis.
Are you? So I wasn't sure if that was you or if that was just a guy who looks exactly like you and sounds like you and wears a headband.
Well, I don't know if we want to keep up Instagram kayfabe, but
that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, Wimbledon is he's just an Italian American who loves tennis, and he happens to be named Don. So Wimbledon was it was just sitting there, Wimbledon. I mean, come on.
Dude, I did an Instagram video the other day because I stayed at this hotel called the Clarendon, and I went, I'm gonna do a character called Clarendon, and I went, nope. Matt's doing Wimbledon. So I changed it to Clarendon Dave. Well, it's completely ripping off the idea.
No way.
Ripping you off.
Listen, we could have had two Dons together. You still don't ever be afraid to Don out. Okay.
Let me ask you, maybe Wimbledon and Clarendon, the hotel reviewer, the sexual hotel reviewer, maybe they can talk together sometime.
Yeah, that would be fantastic.
Now, that was just a setup. I'm here for a specific reason.
Okay.
I'd ask you this question. Last night I went to a strip club by myself. There were no strippers there. They charged me $10 to get into an empty room. Well, there was one stripper who was just talking to this guy who looked like Santa Claus. I'm just catching you up. What's your feelings on strip clubs?
It's been a minute since I've been at them. I'm never looking to be inside of one. I'm never intending to be. But if you find yourself in one, you make the best of a situation, Mm-hmm. I'm not a strip club guy. I was when I did Bridgetown in Portland, they have strip clubs all over the friggin' place in Portland, Oregon. Mm-hmm. And I was shocked to see how many buttholes I saw. Because, growing up in Buffalo, you go up to Canada to go to the strip clubs because they take it all off there. Buffalo, it's just the tops. The bottoms stay on. And you're like, I want the bottoms off.
You want them off.
Canada. But in Portland, it was the first time where girls were like clapping and showing their bleached assholes, and I was like, "Whoa!" It really blew my mind.
That's the butthole store, bro.
Yeah.
That's what strip clubs are. Butthole stores. Now you don't.
I didn't know
it.
that. I wasn't prepared for all them buttholes.
Yeah, you got to. First of all, Matt, I trust you and love I think you are doing your life the best way you think you can be doing your life. But if you're not preparing yourself for a butthole every day, then you're really not prepared. You need to be ready for buttholes.
Those are words
man.
to live by.
You know the worst cannibals hate eating the most? This is something we already discussed on the podcast. Butthole. No cannibal wants to eat the butthole.
Is that right? I would think there would be some kind of butthole. It's a fetish. People get excited. Grilled butthole cacciatore. You could.
I think Mike does this for, but calamari are little buttholes.
Yeah, you could make. They're little rings. You could make.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. This happens. I'm on cold brew and I just interrupt. We do calamari. You season it like one of those Wetzel's pretzels with the cinnamon. Like like a cinnamon calamari, and then you douse it in chocolate sauce and you serve them as Italian buttholes.
Yes. Si. Molto bene. The deep fried butthole is so good. All right. Yeah, sure.
You think we could make some money on that? It's a video. We don't do the video on the podcast, Matt. So you're shaving the. Actually, we do the video. You're back.
I was getting my shit together in all the panic, and I said I got to have my Italian flag nearby, and now you're sticking it up my ass.
You're such a racist tonight. You're such a racist to my people.
I'm a racist to your people?
Yes. Everything you do is an offense to Italians that I love, but I love it.
I could have Sicilian citizenship if I wanted to. My great-grandfather was born in Sicily.
Great-grandfathers don't get you citizenship.
Yes, they do. That's a new thing. Blood law. It's a thing in Sicily. If you can trace back to one of your great-grandparents, you can get dual citizenship.
My great-grandparents.
Well, let's fucking move to Sicily, dude.
Ask Ugly Mike if he can look this up to see if this is true, because I think Matt is pulling my cock, but not in the way I like it.
Yes, blood law. There's a whole article my mother-in-law sent it because I was going over to Sicily a bunch. And
were you really?
I did. I shot a film there in 2019.
Right. I thought
it's not out. It's just in the can, baby. We got a film in the can, as they say in the business.
Can I release it on my Patreon?
I would love that. I just have to tell the director, look, my guy's going to put it on Patreon. We're all going to fucking make big bucks.
15%. You get 15% of that month's take.
Sounds like a great deal.
Somewhere around 35%.
I feel bad I didn't put on sleeves. I wasn't prepared.
If I see Matt in sleeves, I get angry.
That's what I thought.
I would have approached you and I would have ripped them from your body. I'd have ripped them right. Take those off, you kook-suka.
Take those off, you freak.
So, sorry.
No,
you have to understand, I took the caffeine for a man who was going to be podcasting alone, and then I had guests. So that's going to happen. I'm going to be screaming at you. Hot times.
I love to be screamed at. It's one of my favorite things in the world.
Let me ask you this. Feel free to answer or not. And this is open to both people, Michael. And have either of you paid for sex?
Paid for sex?
Yeah.
No.
Would
not
you?
In the traditional sense. There's that whole you go on a date. But I've also never been a one-night stand guy. If we have sex, you're going to be my girlfriend or my wife.
I am of the same ilk, my friend.
But I've never paid for it. I'm not against it, and I'm not judging anybody that has. Hey, God bless.
If Rumpf goes, you can, and it becomes totally legal, and it's safe. Would you get a little hooky wookie?
Well, if the planets aligned, like you just said,
right,
and maybe, but maybe not, because I have friends who have done it, like in Amsterdam, and it sounds incredibly impersonal. You're just kind of there for a moment. It's not like in the films where they're like, "Oh, I like you." It's just like, next,
It's just that factory music playing. Da 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 da.
It's like,
yeah, exactly. It's just
they're putting condoms on dicks like an I Love Lucy, trying to get the glove on the bottle.
Yeah.
They're just So many dicks coming
It's
by,
like
falling off.
Yeah, it's like a Greek diner. They're like, we need turnover. We need turnover.
I would always be worried I'd get somebody who it's like their first week and they're not even sure if they want to keep the job.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
They're just like, I'm sorry, it's my first day. I don't know.
They walk in, they look at you, go, and go, I quit. I can't do this. They look at me and they go, this is the late night shift. You know, they're like, I need time and a half for this guy. I am holiday pay when they look at me. I would imagine.
Oh my God. Time and a half stone.
Right. So you say the impersonal thing, but I think, and this is just in my fantasies because if it was like a legit thing, it's like, I think that we have the abilities to make them laugh. You know, you make them, you be the fun part of their day. You know, and it's like,
you would crack her open with a nice line.
Yeah, I'm not saying she's going to like me or she's going to want to like be, I don't want her to like me, but I do want her to like me. I want her to be like, hey, this next 15 minutes will be fun. Right?
Yeah.
That could be fun for me.
You want her to be like at the happy hour after work being like, typically we see dicks all day or whatever, but this guy, really funny, and I hope he comes back. I hope he becomes a regular. Yes,
like the bartender who likes you. You know what I mean? Like that's the kind of relationship you want. You know, like, hey, Dave's here. Well, Dave, come on in. Am I putting it in my ass today? All right, come on, sit down, have a drink.
I'm going to work tomorrow. I think I'll have the usual.
I got to finish this other guy off here. Real homo. He doesn't know it yet. I don't know why I did that. But I'll get to you in a second, Dave. Make yourself at home.
Sit there and fluff yourself.
But not too hard. Anyway, what about you, Michael? Suarez?
What would I, or what do you mean?
You're the one who's supposed to be knowing what I'm talking about because I've already forgotten.
Well, you asked
her
me
anything about a strip
before.
Oh,
a
yes.
strip. Yeah, I mean,
what's your ideal situation?
Ideal situation. If I had to pay for it, I think I would want it to be very, like we're both wearing masks, like eyes wide shut.
Oh, like a
okay.
Oh, really? All right.
I don't know you. You don't know me.
Really?
I was talking about this with my wife the other day. What about a sex lottery? Okay, and it's for the whole country. You draw a number. You fill out a questionnaire, your likes, interests, blah blah blah. The government matches you with somebody. Says today's your day. Go fuck this person based on your whatever. And then you don't have to do it. You can get to the room. There'll be a guard. Make sure no one gets hurt. But it's just a way for people to fuck other people, kind of supervised, and it's a government thing. You have to do it. How we feel about a sex lottery?
First of all, not only do I love this idea, I want to institute it just in my own life. I will be the guard. I'll be the purveyor. I can make this happen. We'll just get a list of names of people we know, and we'll call them and be like, hey, Lane, is this Lane? You get to fuck my mom tonight. When you go, who are you? It's Greg.
Today only. Take it or leave it, but the window is open, my friend.
I pulled your name and I pulled my mom's name. Hang on, I got to call my mom and let her know. You know?
Let her know what the door
The good news. Let her know the good news.
Sorry if this is a bit already that someone already did, but I really always thought there should be a national Cheaters Day. And then not the way you think. I'm not saying you get to cheat that day.
Well, the word cheater, you start using the word cheat, and that's where it gets ugly.
Right. So, but what I want to say is if you don't cheat on that year, you get a present, right? So you get a present for not cheating. Now, if you do cheat, you don't get in trouble. There's no breaking up. There's no divorce. All you do is you don't get a present that year, right? Because women don't seem to understand how hard it is not to be horny all of the time and cheat. That's easy for me not to cheat because I'm a fat piece of shit, which is easy. It makes it easier.
Oh,
but, come on, I know I'm a good-looking guy.
You are. You're a slick motherfucker. Don't even say anything like that.
That's just so I can get a couple extra tweets later, just so I get a couple tweets. People go.
You get someone. I would fuck you, Greg.
Yeah, and then I gotta give up my present on National Cheaters Day. But every year, because I think cheating isn't a big deal. I don't cheat, but I don't think it's something. If it's just sex, and not a relationship, and not like I'm gonna leave you. I'm fine. If Tita was like, look, I just want to fuck this kind of person because you're not this kind of person, go ahead. She doesn't want to because she's emotional and
right. That's where it comes down to it, right? Is like you're like, oh, what if your partner wanted to fuck someone? It's always easy to be like, yeah, let him go. But then if it did happen, you never know until it's real, I guess.
I'm fine if in the fantasy world that Tito wants to have sex with someone, and we know, guaranteed, it's not emotional.
Yeah,
he's not funnier than me, and it's just for sex. Does not bother me. Does not.
That's
bother
hilarious.
Me.
If she came up to you and said, "I want to fuck this guy," and you'd be like, "How funny is he?"
Yeah, totally.
Let me see his best 5, and I'll make a decision.
Exactly. He's not nicer than me. Like, I know what I am as a person.
Sure.
And she wanted to do that. Fine. Right. I want to have sex with everybody, but I don't want to emotionally attach to anybody.
No. That's
on that level.
I think that's the biggest, fear that I would have if I did cheat, was that person would like attach to you and like, because we live in a day of phones and social media. They could just be like, "Hey, I fucked your husband," and what do you think of that? Like there's really like, you watch Mad Men and you're like, of course these people are fucking everybody. There's no accountability of where anybody is. They're in the basement, they're having sex. They're at work, they're having sex. Everyone's fucking everywhere because no one has phones. Now it's like you shouldn't even mess with it because now you're dealing with a whole other set of unforeseen problems.
Yeah, you'll have sex and your Apple Watch will accidentally call your wife.
Someone's echoing. Sorry. Someone's echoing.
I think it's coming from Matt.
It's got to be me. I thought I turned on the...
right now, though.
It's very odd. It's on and off half time. Anyway, I'll just keep talking until we figure this out. Back when you used to be a comedian, these guys would go on the road and they could fuck everybody because it was like, what are they going to do? Guess my phone number? Like, I'm not in the phone book. You know what I mean? And it's a stage name. Like, there was none of that. Now... it's just like, I'll just I'll just guess his email. I'm sure it's gregstone@gmail. Gregstone3, Gregstone4, Gregstone5.
Comedy. Yeah. Throw in the word. When you asked me for my email today, I get so embarrassed every time that I still have the fucking word comedy in my email address. Not that, I'm still a comedian and I love it, but it's like, there's something kind of lame about it. Be like, Wayne, comedy.
So you're just giving, so here's the thing. What you don't know about is that before you came on, I almost gave out your email on the podcast because I was going to go, are you going to email Matt his email? And Mike was like, don't give it out. And I go, well, let's just guess it. You guess his email. And then I almost gave out your email.
Oh, then I just gave it out. So
well, we all got very close. Let me see how close.
People can shoot me an email. I don't mind. I like to hear from America or wherever in the world. Whoever you got, your global listeners.
Speaking of global, I couldn't find any information about the bloodline thing for Sicily. The
son of a gun.
Italy said was he had to be born there, or
hey Mike,
basically born there, or your parents had to be from there.
Send Anthony an email to get him in this invite real quick.
Gotcha.
Because he's not gonna. Oh shit! Actually, he doesn't want to be on the podcast. I'll do this.
Okay.
He just called, but he doesn't want to be on the podcast, so I'll just trick him into being on the podcast. Hello.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, you're on the podcast because I'm recording right now.
You're tricking me. You just said you're tricking me into being on the podcast.
Yes, you're on the podcast. Is this personal?
That sounds good. No, man, I was calling to find out about the grant stuff.
Oh, yeah, I'll tell you about that later. I got to do unless you want to come on the podcast via Zoom. Matt Wayne's on.
No, man. I mean, I'll do it on the phone. Zoom, I just can't look at my face anymore, man.
All right. You just turn your camera off.
That's true. I could turn my camera off and put just like a fun cartoonish background on. Or you can just keep me on the line while Matt's there for now. I'm going into a store to buy a pot for my plant.
Everybody's in the
I
plant.
figure you'll work out the audio logistics, but hey, I'll have a good time in the background.
Well, I can't because I actually can't because you can't hear Matt who's talking to you right now.
You can't hear me, Anthony? Oh, you can't. You don't have headphones in. I don't know how.
Anthony, I'll call you back later. All right, goodbye.
All right, man.
Yeah.
But Matt's in the neighborhood? Hang on.
Matt's not in the neighborhood. He's on Zoom.
Ah, damn, that sucks. Man, are you having Matt on as Matt, or are you having Matt on as Wimbledon?
Oh, Wimbledon. We all love Wimbledon. I just kind of emailed him last second, and he jumped on.
That's great, man.
All right.
Can't believe he's taking himself away from the courts. Good to hear.
Say hi to all the Rad Dudecast fans that miss you.
Yeah, man. What up, you pussies? It's your boy AD. Suck my dick.
All right, bro.
All right.
I'll talk to you.
Yonkers forever.
Yonkers forever. Is that he said Yonkers forever?
Now, Greg, I just texted you an article about Italian citizenship.
Don't text it to me. You have to text it to Mike, my producer. so that he
Right.
can read it to me.
Well,
I don't read things
figured,
anymore.
I figured you guys were tight. You'd pass it right along.
Well, he reads everything for me. I don't.
Well, hold
he's
on.
become my Pepper Potts.
I'll just email it to the email you sent me.
Well, I really just say, all right. What were we talking about?
It doesn't matter. Does it matter?
Nothing matters. But what, Mike? I didn't mean that.
Not a whole
Tom.
lot.
Not a whole lot. Man, I had this. I wrote out. So I was going to do this episode by myself today.
So I replied just to the email I got. I sent this to Robert Kelly's. You know what, dude? Okay.
Great. Just say that email out loud.
I didn't say what it was. Oh,
He didn't say the email. He just,
At Yahoo. Fuck your mother. Anyway.
although he did flash his phone and show a lot of information.
I'm like, is this it?
I'll send that to your social security number 222578152. Anyway, can I tell you the strip club story?
That's what I'm here for.
And I believe you about the Italian thing.
Of course, but I thought maybe there'd be a nugget in there that's interesting if you want to.
Oh, I don't know. Do you believe in God?
Do I believe in God?
Yeah.
Is that what you're asking me?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I mean, not like in the Catholic sense of like Jesus Christ and, rising from the dead and feeding people with a couple of loaves of bread and a fish. Get real.
I'd love for you and me to go to a church and the priest says to you, hey, get real, pal. What are you saying? Orc, get real. Get out of here.
Get the hell out. You don't blow me.
Dude, I was on Reddit the other day and I got into a 6-hour argument with some guy about religion, and he kept it's in this debate religion thing that I'm in, and I don't know why I responded. But he I don't know, it's like these people are not these people, but like the crazy religious people, because he said every word in the Bible is true historically. And
that's where it gets dicey for me.
You can't. Because I said to him, I go, Noah's Ark, right? They had 2 of every animal. What did the tigers eat when they got off the boat? And he goes, what do you mean? They had 2 of every animal. And I go, well, if they had zebras and the tigers ate the zebras, there's no more zebras. You need at least 30 years for these things
something I never thought
to
about.
repopulate.
Those tigers are going to get hungry. We all saw Life of Pi.
Yeah, they're going to get hungry as soon. Okay, get off the boat and don't eat each other until you've repopulated. That makes no sense. What, they were vegans for for 20 years? That you got to put that in the story.
They had a Jesus tiger. He made one zebra into several.
But that's the thing. Let's say that you're right about that. You put that in the story. That's not a thing you skip over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, my thing is, if everything in the Bible is true, how come nobody's doing that shit today? Like, where are the people who can part the seas? And where, we got to get some more cool biblical stunts going so we can believe.
You bring up an excellent point. And I hate to say I used to do this as a bit, because anytime someone says anything interesting, I go, I used to do that as a bit. Just kidding. No, but I used to do a thing that used to make me mad, because I go, the last time he used to be showing up, doing stuff. Now, all you ever see is like some woman in Mexico finds Jesus on her toast. And they're like, that's Jesus. It's like, come on. He used to show up. God used to be like, I'm killing kids. He used to be in it. He used to be in the mix.
Tables over of money changers. I'm getting in people's faces. Now I'm showing up on grilled cheese.
Yeah, man.
You want to see my son of the Cheeto?
Yes, exactly. So I have this thing, and then I was going to do a whole religion episode. This was going to be a whole religion episode, because something I went to the Grand Canyon last week, and so I go from Vegas to the Grand Canyon, right? And Vegas is like this awesome, like Sin City. There's naked women on the street trying to get your money, and they're doing all types of deviant things that are wonderful. And then you go to Grand Canyon, and something I did not anticipate for is the amount of religious groups that go there to try to show off. Right? Like I saw like 100, I would honestly say 4 or 5 different religious groups taking these kids, and they look at the Grand Canyon and you go, how can you look at that and not believe a God created this? Mm-hmm. Right? And then I get so angry, because I go, well, one, you can see the lines from the water that created this. And then they go, well, then God created the water. So did God create the water to create the Grand Canyon, or he created the water and it did? So either way, that wasn't God who did that. A. B. The Grand Canyon isn't beautiful. And this is, so understand what I'm saying here. It's not actually beautiful. Our brains interpret it as beautiful, right? So if you don't have the thing in your brain that makes beautiful, then it's not. If
I just walk up to it, Greg Stone. Yeah, it's a big fucking hole. Who gives a shit?
Well, like if you're a deer, you don't walk up to the Grand Canyon and go, "Look at its majesty." You go, "I gotta get this cocksucking lion off my back," or whatever. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if things other than humans appreciate the beauty of the whole.
Greg's like people who look at Kate Blanchett and it's like, I don't get it.
Not for me, pal. What is the gay of not like, you know, when like you look at a Grand Canyon, you go, I don't think that's hot, and then your friend goes, well, I think you're gay, right? But it's like you're not into men. It's like who's the person? All right, follow me on this because this is a long shot. This is a long shot of a joke I'm going for here. Well, if you have a friend who looks at a beautiful woman and they go, I don't think she's attractive, you call them gay. Well, what's that in the world of like beautiful things, beautiful elements, right? Like if I look at the Grand Canyon and I go, I don't see it. Then you go, what are you into, like rivers and shit? What are you, some kind of river guy? This guy likes rivers. He's not even the canyons.
What do you like, volcanoes? I bet you do. You like to see it spurt right out of the hole, you freak.
His asshole's into geysers. God help me. This has been a fun one. It's not over yet, but I just like to say so far fun. I also only told you 5 minutes, so when you got to go, Matt, you could just go. This isn't.
Well, I mean, the ladies' quarterfinals wrapped up. I got to do some Wimbledon stuff, but like, I got a couple hours though. I got time. Is all I'm saying.
Well,
all right.
Answers to two of the questions. One to the Noah question. Apparently, in the Bible, it says he brought food for everybody.
Yes,
everybody.
On the boat. That's what this asshole said to me. On the boat, he brought food, but but they didn't have food off of the boat. When he let them go, he didn't strap Slim Jims to their necks, did he?
It's also insane to think that he could feed all of those animals at once on the boat. Forget about when you get off the boat. He's just like, all right, I got some kibble for you and some fresh meat for you. And
dude, I worked at a Fridays. It's hard enough to feed 3 people from Patterson.
I know, right?
Let alone a lion.
You got some lion being like, where's my Jack Daniels tower? And you're like, oh, this fucking guy every week.
Yeah, you got roaches you're feeding that are like, you got, hey, little roach guy, here's a little food for you. It's only him and his wife. Anyway, all types of crazy. Another thing. Oh, echoing again.
Yeah.
Nobody knows why.
I know what causes it, but I don't know why it keeps coming and going. The echo cancellation doesn't always work when you're not wearing headphones.
I'm willing to blame myself.
Don't blame yourself. Blame me. Blame me. Blame me for all your problems. It's Greg's problem.
Short answer is our mics are sometimes too good, and they'll catch the background as a separate thing and not realize it's an echo.
Mike, I think I'm going to buy that fancy Rode mic. Is it Rode or Shure? The one that I did Adam Ferreira's podcast, and I listened on one of those good mics, and I went, I can tell the difference.
Yeah.
Now I don't sleep till I've purchased one of these.
Those are awesome.
And as many wires as I can get to fill it in. Mike, you know I don't read. You need to read for me.
Oh yeah. So this is a question about the was it Jur Sanguinis?
Who?
I'm not saying I'm saying it right, but it's the blood law you guys were talking about.
Blood law.
So
blood law.
Four requirements: the applicant must be born to an Italian citizen parent, or to a parent. Who has the right to Italian citizenship, jur sanguinis. The applicant must be born before August 16, 1992, and whose parent did not naturalize to another citizenship before the applicant's birth. So apparently that's the sticky part.
Does this mean I can do it? Everything you said, my grandparents might have been born there.
Well, it all depends on this 1912 date, I think, for you or for any of us.
And because if your Italian parent did not naturalize, so applicant mother was Italian and the child was born after January 1st, 1948.
I was born after 1948. I don't understand a lot of this. I'll have to look at this offline.
I think the bottom line is if you have a great grandparent that you can prove was born in Italy or Sicily, and it falls in line with this naturalized before June of 1912, I think you're good. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm sure it's a real process,
Right.
But I went to the town in Sicily where my great grandfather was born, and went to the municipal building and found his birth certificate.
Yeah. I didn't know you were actually Italian.
Sicilian on my mother's side. Yeah. My great grandfather Gaetano Nonota
I didn't know I could like you anymore.
Who was born in I think Racalmuto, Sicily, which is was it Racalmuto or was it fucking? I should know all this. I had it written down. It's on one of the R's. There's a lot of cool sounding towns over there.
Pepoloni? Was you born in Pepoloni?
Pepoloni and the Bologna.
I was born in Radomaggi.
But yeah, I think you could do it if you did the legwork. They keep paperwork over there. They're a lot more organized than us. They got all the old binders. You go in there, you open the binders.
All right, Grandpa.
We're all covered in sauce, but
the sauce.
The sauces are so good.
It's just so nice.
It's just so nice. Anyway, I just said what you said.
There is apparently a phone number you can just call though, and they'll let you know.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I'll call that one. I don't know. I'm not even going to Italy. I don't even like flying. Anyway, I'd like to bring this other topic. Let's stay on the religion topic if we don't mind. Then anyway, burn my Patreon episode because I was going to talk about religion. But I took some notes. Right. No, the thing I was saying before that I didn't even get to whatever. They what makes me mad is they walk out there and they go, look at the Grand Canyon. Oh, look how beautiful it is. How could you not believe in God if you do not see this Grand Canyon? But that's the thing. You're only showing them the good stuff.
Right.
Show them. You can't take the good without the bad.
Show them the condo in Miami. Yeah.
Yeah. Show them the comedy condo for the side splitters. Okay. Where there's cum in the mayonnaise.
I thought you just meant about the Grand Canyon. Where they're showing the pile of dead donkeys that fell off during the tour.
Well, that happens. There's some kind of stat where, like, I think a handful of people fall into the Grand Canyon every year, and it's an astonishing number. I don't have it in front of me. Mike,
have you been there?
I have not been there. I've only been to Sedona in Arizona, which doesn't really count, but there's some red rock.
I was there. Let me tell you this about the Grand Canyon. It's a miracle that not every single person falls off. There is 3 feet of fence around a 90-mile thing that literally is sharp clips that like the road runner would run across. That man. Or the penitent man, if you would. When he tries to, you gotta
put the pebbles out there. You throw the pebbles out. You get that little moving bridge.
Yeah, dude, it is so wild that Tita kept trying to get close, and I would go. I don't like heights. I'm really bad with heights and flying. So Tita would get a little close, and I said, "Listen, I swear to God, if you take one more step, and I'm not joking, our marriage is over. I will. If you take one more step closer to that, I will leave you forever." That is how serious I am about this fear. And then these little kids are just running right to the edge, and they're they're taking pictures, and it's like, no, this is too dangerous. It's too dangerous and too scary.
You're making me get that funny feeling down below just thinking about it, just watching someone get that close. It's too much for me.
So the average is 12 per year, and it's usually
not enough
falling. Usually because they're taking a dumb picture.
Yeah. I'm sure it's gone up, with phones and selfies and shit.
12 a year is a lot.
That seems like a lot. Yeah, I mean, that's once a month. Someone's going down.
Right.
Or one busy month.
It's one guy with 11
families. These things are going like hotcakes.
It's one.
Don't go in July when everyone's just shoving. It's just, ass to elbows July when everyone does.
It's one Volkswagen Vanagon with an angry dad going off that edge. He's just like, I told you I would do it. I told you I'd do it.
You calling my bluff?
Yeah. I'll just go up.
Don't go when Pushy Larry's on vacation.
Yeah, it was all on one guy's shift. It's just old Sleepy Dave's Canyon shift where he's supposed to be watching the people from the edge. There's no one watching anybody. You could just go dump right off. So don't. It's a little scary. I went to Sedona and it blew, and I'll tell you why. Because we drove from Vegas to the canyon to Sedona. Sedona, this beautiful town, but there's fires, so they canceled all of the trails, so we couldn't do any of the trails. That's like the main thing. And the only things they have there are 2 cowboy restaurants and 100 places to buy Native American necklaces. It's like that's all they're pushing there, and they call them Indian. They haven't even gotten the memo yet. They're calling.
Arizona's Arizona's a terrible place.
Is it?
Well, they don't. I still think they don't recognize MLK Day.
No.
Yeah, that's what that going to Arizona by Public Enemy is all about.
What?
Yeah. And they don't recognize daylight savings time. They don't turn their clocks any directions. They play by their own rules down there.
So you're telling me that Arizona treats MLK Day the same way Louis C.K. treats me in a green room? They just got him again.
Bam.
Nah, he's a nice enough guy. Whatever. Anyway, moving right along. There was a beginning part that you missed of this. I worked with him yesterday, and he was very nice, I guess.
Yeah, I worked with him recently too. He's very nice.
Very nice. Moving on.
Moving on. I don't.
Just kidding. I don't know. No one's getting. No one cares.
I did socials with him. It was so fun.
Right. Moving on.
Moving on. Moving on.
Moving on. I have some other things I'd like to talk about here, and then we can. And Mike, you have to stay on. We have to do 2, Mike.
Yeah.
Just so you know. So don't try running out of here.
No problem.
I don't know what this guy's problem is all of a sudden.
You're not going anywhere.
I can't keep trying to double back to be like, anyway, I'm not going to double back on any of that. I did have something podcast topics. Pay to be in a room. Oh no, we did it about that anyway. Hey, Matt, do you have any stories? I ran out of ideas.
What do you want? What are you looking for these days? I got stories on everything.
When's you ever kiss a guy?
Ever kiss a guy? You know what's funny? I was in London like 2 or 3 Christmases ago with some friends. We were doing like they treat Christmas. I don't know if you've ever been in London around Christmas, but it's like their favorite thing. Mm-hmm. They love Christmas and Harry Potter. So Christmas, they just go from bar to bar to bar. We were in this big group, bar to bar to bar. And at the end of the bar crawl, everyone's drunk. My wife's there. And this guy who's I've just been like hanging out with, he was been flirting with me all day. He asked me if he could kiss me on the mouth. It's real like Boogie Nights. Like, can I kiss you? Can I kiss you on the mouth? And I was drunk and I was this close to being like, I'm in the spirit. Let's fucking have a kiss. But I didn't, and then I oddly regret it. I'm like, that was my moment to kiss a guy, and I blew it.
I've mentioned this before on the podcast, but I'm really into it. They really should have bisexual strip clubs. They should have strip clubs where there's women and men dancing, and like, fuck it, grab a dick, kiss a guy, see what's up. I mean, you can't probably do those things in strip clubs, but it's like, I don't know, man. Everyone needs to be adventuring. You know what I mean? Yeah. I've kissed men before as like bits. You know what I mean? And there's no like real passion there or feeling. But I've also kissed my wife before and have had no passion or feeling. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like you just kiss her and you go,
kiss goodbye. Like when your wife's go, I gotta go to work, babe, and you give her like a little smooch.
Yeah.
That's nothing.
You ever kiss her though, and then you just go, man, I felt that one. You know what I mean? Oh
yeah. Sure.
Yeah. So I think I want to try to kiss a guy with that. Just go, come here, let's really do it.
Yeah, let's see if we can make my pants tight. Yeah.
Let's give it all. Let's give it everything. See what happens.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah.
I guess now I understand why, because now my mind is going, you and I should do that, Matt. Next time we meet, we should kiss each other as passionately as possible, but I don't want it to hurt the friendship. And now it makes sense why all the women who didn't kiss me growing up were afraid it would hurt the friendship.
Yes.
Now I understand.
Now you get it. You don't want to ruin the friendship. And you're like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Ruin what?
Yeah. So I get it now, because I think it'd be a fun activity for you and I to go, let's kiss each other as passionately, really give it 100%. But then, like, is it going to be weird after? Would it be weird if you and I kissed?
Well, I don't know if weird is the word. It would be.
What would it be?
Well, let me ask you this. Is this like you and I closed doors, like, let's figure this out, or is there an audience? That's
a great question. Because with an audience, it gives us the out of we're just doing it for show.
Oh, we just like stunts. Yeah.
Yeah, we're jackassing it.
But if we're like in a Residence Inn, it's like, okay. Should I get my own room or should I stay here?
It's just for you and me to see. See, that's what they call, when you have sex with someone, they call making love, right?
Yes.
We are going to try to make love through a kiss.
With our mouth.
With our mouths. Let's try to.
I don't even think it has to be so like over the top. Like, a lot of times in like comedy sketches when like two guys kiss, they want you to they always like try to focus on the tongues touching and all that.
Right.
I think if like unexpectedly, we're at like at the beer garden for your birthday,
Yeah.
We walk in and everyone's just whacking back cold ones. They're not thinking of anything. I walk up to you, I grab your head like Cuomo and I just open mouth.
Right.
Tender, wet, release, and everyone
Right.
goes, "Whoa, what's going on with Wayne and Stone?" And you're like, "Where? Does anybody need anything? I'm gonna go to the bar." That's how you do it.
That's so. I think it's easier if one of us was gay. Like if I were to find like a real gay guy and be like a real one, not these fake ones running around.
Yeah.
But like a real gay, like a gay guy, and be like, "Hey, I really just want to passionately kiss you." But he then has to probably be attracted to me. But I think the move is to find two men who are not attracted to men and try to give it all on a kiss. I don't know what that would do to us. What do you think? Do you think we could walk away from
I
that?
think bottom line, it would make us closer.
I think so.
I don't think you would be like, "Oh, big mistake. This guy's never coming back on the podcast."
I think that's how I should end every podcast. Is in a real. We try to really passionately kiss. No women though, because then you're in dangerous grounds. Only men. We try to passionately kiss and see if it's a click. See if there's a connection.
I think that would be a fun podcast for heterosexual males. Be like, "Come on my podcast. Maybe we kiss. Maybe we don't. But the idea is that we do.
Look, if you don't, we're not going to air the episode.
If you don't, it's kind of not the gimmick. We kind of want you to kiss."
Yes, passionately.
Passionate.
Like you said, like sometimes they zoom in on the lips and the tongue. This is not about the tongue. This is about the heart. This is about putting your heart into this kiss.
Yeah, they do it on SNL a lot with those like end of the night sketches where there's two people at the bar and it's always like, and it's like licking the head. It's over the top.
No. Yes.
We don't want to make fun of the moment or the kissing. We want to get an erection.
Yes. What I'd like to say is, like the famous song goes, I want to make love out of nothing at all. Out of nothing at all.
I don't know that song. Who sings that?
Out of nothing at all. Making love.
I can just sound like the NBA Finals.
No, you know the song. You know the song. Making love out of nothing at all. Making love out of nothing at all. Come on, what song is that? Making love. That's the end of it, though. It's like not Total Eclipse of the Heart. It's like one of those types. Making love. Mike, thank you. I see his fingers typing.
I see. It's vaguely. It sounds like something. You sound like Happy Gilmore. Till the night closes.
Fuck.
Air Supply.
Air Supply.
Oh yeah, Air Supply.
That's
They
the
got
name
a
of the
lot
song.
of fun ones.
Making love out of. You don't know that song, Matt? You and I link on music so hard. You have to know it.
Well, the only Air Supply song I know is "Here I Am, the one that you love." That one.
That's a great one.
Looking for another. Is it day or?
Mike, read the top Air Supply songs if you could. They're all making love, love for nothing, give me the love, love is your friend, and I'm out of love. What is it? All out of love. What are the
I'm all
songs?
out of love.
Yeah.
Yeah. Making love out of the all out of love. Even the nights are better. Here I am. The power of love.
Power of love.
They cover Huey, huh? Wow.
No, I think
it's
they
a
wrote
different
it.
song.
Okay.
Lost in Love, Young Love,
Wow.
Love and
Like-
Other Bruises, which is
They give Bad Company a run for the money because I used to say Bad Company. They have Ready for Love, Can't Get Enough of Your Love, Feel Like Making Love, but that's only three. This sounds like
Bad Company sings, I feel like making love. Wait, how's that go?
Feel like making love. Bound, dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun,
I feel like making love. It's the
when
thing
I
that-
think about you. Yeah, that one.
when they say making love, it makes me crazy because it's like when sex doesn't make love, right? You usually love someone and then you have sex, right? It's
Yeah.
like I've never had sex and then like I love you. I've been impassionate with someone.
No, yeah.
You know, it's
Well,
like
when he
you
first
make-
wrote the song, he was like, "Feel like finger you on the bus," and then he had to make it.
He's like too many syllables.
I feel like eating ass. You know, like
Dun, dun, dun.
I feel like eating ass.
The rest
Yeah.
of the band was like not ready. He's like, "Well, I'm ahead of my time. Wait till ass eating is in. People are gonna go crazy."
Yeah. Well, Matt, it's been a pleasure having you. I feel as though-
Dun, 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 dun. Feel like eating ass.
Yeah, hell yeah. Do you think you could jerk a guy off?
That's a tall order.
Is it? Not me, a friend, not a stranger.
Do
You'll
I
never
have
see
to
again.
do I have to get it hard, or is it already ready to go? If it's already ready to go, I think I could maybe. But if I had starting flaccid, I don't know. Are you
asking if we have the ability, or would we just be able to go in there and like, all right, mister, let's see what's going on.
I want to jerk a guy off because
sounds like you've got a list of desires here.
Right. Well, here's the thing, and this all comes from the same thing to me. It's the idea that like you have that straight walls that go in your mind. Because growing up, we grew up on the thing of we have these straight walls where like if you surpass the thing, you were gay and gay was being bad. So when you go to clear out, hey, gay's not bad, right? You slowly start to move back and try to clear. Oh, look who decided.
What's happening?
Oh, man, you interrupted a great diatribe, but we will get back to that in the Patreon for $15 subscribers.
Hate to interrupt a diatribe. For that
Anthony, welcome.
For me to stand in the way of a diatribe. But, man, I was about to do the dishes. What are you guys talking about?
Well, I was bringing up about jerking a guy off, about exactly what you think I'd be talking about if you were to jump into the podcast. We were talking about.
Greg asked if me and Mike could do it, and we didn't understand the question. Like, do you mean like mentally or like physically? Like, do I have the torque? Do I have the will?
Yeah, the will.
The torque is hilarious. To see if you have the torque and velocity.
You want to be able to get a nice,
swing going, a nice swing, a good rhythm.
Yeah,
I'd be afraid I would be too rough to not knowing.
But they'll tell you.
That is a good.
They'll tell you. Like when you finger a girl, she goes easy, 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 easy. Let the blood flow.
And I got down.
Ease up, ease up, ease up, ease up, ease up, ease up. Let the blood flow. Julius.
Greg, what 18th century women are you fingering?
Why don't you call Tita instead to her face? Because I'm not good at fingering. I'll tell you this: they need to do a refresher course for men who have been married, right?
Advanced studies.
Every day.
Yeah.
I think it's all about
how to do this.
You got to know if your partner is an inside or outside kind of gal.
Yeah.
Because when you're younger, when you're a young lad, you don't know what fingering is, and then the first time you do it, you're like, I don't know, is this doing anything? I don't. And then like,
that's me now.
Then you find out about like female anatomy, and you're like, okay, well, sometimes there's no reason to go inside.
Yeah,
everything's right out here.
You realize you don't got to like put all your fingers in there too. You can just go with two sometimes. You don't need to hold the ghost all the time.
You don't have to be so ambitious. It's a very
for sure. Some women,
it's a literal slippery slope.
Some women, they're like a Florida room. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like an episode of Golden Girls.
Yeah. My fingers are like an outside cat. You don't go inside. There's no need. We don't want you fucking up the. We don't want you fucking up the interior. You stay outside.
Oh man.
Well, you know what got me like that when I tried out stuff was that episode of Seinfeld. The pinch and the swirl.
Mike Anthony just left. I have no idea what you're talking about.
That one with the pinch and the swirl.
They talked about fingering someone on Seinfeld?
Well, it's like it's a move. It's a move that may or may not be oral or digital. We're not sure. But the putty move, like when Putty uses Jerry's move, a counterclockwise swirl.
Oh, I remember this.
I never knew if that was like, is that a tongue thing? Is that like an oral sex thing? Or is that like a...
I thought it was a dance to turn them on. You do a little dance. You make a little love.
You make your rod copter in one direction. Yeah.
Well, we got to get back to this. I want to hang on. We got the echo again.
And we lost Anthony.
Yeah, he just comes in. He goes whatever he wants to do with his life. So what I want to talk about the jerking off thing, right? I want to bring this back to a real thing, and if you want to hear that, we'll just sign up to the Patreon. No, well, I'll finish this, and then we'll do another episode. The jerk off thing is because when I worked in the ER, I had to touch a lot of old man penis, right? Because sometimes they can't really move, and you have to put their pee-pee into like a little cup, and then so they could pee. You have to help them.
But you're wearing gloves, right?
Right, but the first initial reaction as a kid working in an ER was, "Oh, dick," and then you go, "Why?" It's just a part of the body, right? Yeah. It's just a part of the body, same as the lips are, right? I think that when I passionately kiss you, it's acting. I'm not putting the passion into it, right? But I can touch it. You can touch another man's penis. I can jerk another penis. It's you're milking a cow. You can do that, and I know how to jerk myself off. I'm pretty sure I can do it. But I think that we're just so like we are so constrained in our having to be straight mentality that we're not trying different things. So I think I would love to just. It's like jumping. Like it's like I am afraid of jumping out of an airplane. Similar to be about being afraid of jerking a guy off. What am I afraid of? Am I afraid I'm going to be gay? Well, who cares? I know I'm in love with my wife.
I would rather jerk a guy off than jump out of an airplane for sure.
Oh, for sure. I'd rather jump out of an airplane and jerk another guy off in the air. I'd love to fuck a guy in the ass coming in through the cumulus clouds. I want to come in the cumulus. Cumulus cum.
Come in the cumulus.
Cumulus cum.
Circus music playing in the background.
Yeah, so I'm saying, like, would you try to jerk a guy off and use passion? You know, it's not just about doing the act, the motion.
And so this is really bringing it all back around to prostitution, right? The impersonal part of it. If you're getting jerked off, you want it to be done with passion. You don't want it to be done like it's a job, like
yes,
get out of here. You want to like make eye contact and get some lubricant. You know, I don't know, whatever it takes.
Would you ever try to passionately masturbate another man?
Again, I mean, that's what are the circumstances here? Like, is it just
your wife's fine, everything's fine? It's just like not me. It could be. I'll give you almost any circumstances you want. It could be the hottest guy you want.
Is it like a buddy who can't do it himself?
No. This is what I want you to do. Is genuinely try to passionately jerk a guy off and see if you can get yourself into it. See if you can get yourself.
Do I know the guy? Is it a friend or is it just a guy?
It's legitimately, with this circumstance, it's anything you want. If you want to know,
I probably wouldn't want it to be a friend. I'd probably want it to be just a guy.
Just a guy, just a gay guy you meet at a truck stop. I'll say this, not a truck stop.
Now there's a new narrative. We're at a truck stop.
Yeah. I want you to do your best to try to do gay. I want to try. I want to try to be gay. Not be gay. I don't like the word gay. I tell you this. I don't like any categories. It's like I don't have categories for the food I like. I don't want categories for the things that make me come. I want to just be able to use all the things.
Come has come to you. You know, you don't care what the work is, as long as it equals come.
That's the thing, right? You met when you have sex with a woman you love. You share that. Why aren't we sharing that with best friends? How great of a society would be if you could just fuck your best friends and then go back to your wife. You know, I live with my wife, but I can fuck my best friends who are guys and girls because we just do it because it's fun. Right? Why does it have to be only with the person you're married to? And why does it have to be the category you like?
Yeah, these are complex questions. I don't know. I mean, I
investigate them.
I'm with you. I think everybody should be fucking. Everybody should just be having sex with everybody. It's just not everybody is going to be able to handle that. You know what I mean?
And I'm asking you, can you handle that?
Can I handle that? I guess so. I mean,
it doesn't. And this is no right or wrong answer. I'm sorry.
No, I'm not.
I don't want you to feel. The funny
thing is for me, it's less about whether it's a guy or a girl, and it's more like, you know, where am I going to fit this all in? You know what I mean? It's a lot of stuff going on in a day, and you sorry, babe, I got to go jerk off.
Wednesday, 3 p.m.
3. Yeah,
Wednesday, 3 p.m.
Listen, if there's a schedule and we stick to the schedule, then we're in the right direction.
Right. Yeah, I mean, like, why? I get so mad at myself when I so I don't like olives, black olives. If I eat a black olive, I will vomit. There is an absolute, there is a thing in my body, black olives and mushrooms that like make me very like.
Oh, those are like two of my favorite things.
I know, and I'm Italian too, so it's real rough. But there's a lot of food like raw tomatoes that I didn't like, but I can eat. And every now and again, I do like. If I don't take it off my burger, I'm like, fine. I want to be that way with men, right? Like I want to be like, I don't want it. It doesn't make me want to vomit, but I do also want to get that way with olives. Like I want to be able to train myself to like olives, you know, because then it's just more things that you like. So if it doesn't make me vomit, then why can't I ease myself into, passionate love?
Well, I don't think there's anybody saying that you can't. I
My
mean,
wife.
maybe your wife.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you approached Tita and you said, "I'm kind of looking for a penis that's not mine,"
Mm-hmm.
she would be like, I don't know about that. We got a lot going on as it is.
Well, can I tell you the major? And I'm sorry, I'm going on, but I'm just like really on this thought process here. The major turnoff for me is that, especially like bringing it up in comedy or anything, is that then you get like you become like they're like, oh, you're pansexual or you're bisexual, and it's like, no, I don't want you labeling me. I don't want any kind of label. I just think that no one should have labels. I don't believe in labels. And I think that everyone should be ultimately free to try things and do things, come in and out of whatever it is you want to do. Because I also jerking a guy off, worst case scenario for me, it's just a medical act. You know, worst case scenario, I jerk a guy off, I go, all right, just jerked I milked a man. Fine. Right? But I don't want to stop there. I want it to be a thing that I could find fun or cool. Is that weird? Not that it's weird. It's
Definitely not weird.
It's not. It is what it is.
It is what it is. You're an open guy.
Is.
You're an open guy with an open mind, and you'd like to open some pants.
Well, I'll tell you, the only issue I have with men, I look at a dick and I go, fine. I look at a man's butt and I go, fine. But the area from the butthole to the ball sack is my black olives. That makes me want. I don't know how any human being can look at that. That's the worst. That's the only hurdle I have to get over.
Sure, it's gonna be rough sledding for a lot of people, you know, just because of, you know, it's very. That's a very. I don't. I'm assuming it's very hairy for most men or women.
Compare that to the Grand Canyon, God.
Yeah.
It's rough sledding, brother.
You look at this. You tell me there's no God.
Yeah, that's what I should do when I look at the Grand Canyon. You go, there's a God? I go, yeah? Then what about this thing? And then they go, oh, that's the devil's work. I believe in nothing. Right. Well, I think if I could spruce it up a little bit, you know, maybe put some whipped cream on there or hide that. I don't know how you can hide it. But yeah, that's rough sledding, as you said. Rough sledding.
Have you done the whipped cream thing? I've never gotten into the food with sex. I tried it once with a girlfriend, and we just laughed. Like we couldn't get into it.
Yeah,
I did whipped cream with a girl in high school, and she was so sticky, and we were like,
"That's what it is too." You don't even take into account how sticky that shit is. Right. You get it on the sheets, everything else. You got ants. It's no good.
Can I tell you one of the?
No one wants ants in their vagina.
Can I give you the best sex advice I ever got in my life?
Yes, please.
And it's not that good. It's fine. When I was going through a rough patch with sex, and they were like, okay, what you need to do is go to bed with her. And when you guys go to bed, you have to promise. The rule is sex is not allowed, right? So there is no sex. So you have to pretty much do everything else, but no sex. So it's just making out, just this. And that, just doing that, because I think I masturbate so much that I end up becoming a person who just masturbates with a partner. Like I'm using your vagina as a hand, and it's like, that is not making love. That is just whatever. So I had to relearn how to almost make love. And
I get that. It makes sense. It's like hockey. Okay, follow me here for a minute.
I am.
You watch the NHL, guys are beating the shit out of each other all the time. Now, when they play Olympic hockey, they're like, no fighting. So it's like no fucking, no fighting. So it causes everyone to play as aggressive as they can, just short of fighting, which is a great model. It works. The aggression's there, the passion's there, but there's no fisticuffs. So that's kind of what you're saying. You're like, we're not going to fuck, but anything below that is kind of a fun thing, and it's a throwback.
Yeah, and it's very similar in comedy too. When people are like, when you have to do a clean show or you want to do a late night set, you have to work within these I kind of like a little bit of people go like, you can't say this stuff. I go, oh, I like when you give me rules in comedy, because then I can get them as close to that line as possible, and it makes me have to be funnier and work harder instead of just walking up there and being like, how about a cunt on a twat day? We doing twat day today? It's like, hey, Tony Twat's in the house. Tony Twat. Yeah, it's immediately funny. How easy was that? I didn't even say anything. But if I can't say Tony Twat, now I got to come up with an idea. I got to come up with an angle.
Well,
and that's what sex is. It's you got to come up with an emotional
Tony
angle. Twat. Twat is the best word. Twat.
Twat's a great word.
It sounds wet. Ugh.
Calling someone a twat is fun.
That always is fun.
Twix should be the left, and the right one should be twat. It should be Twix and twat.
Twix and twat.
That's what it was called in the 20s. And then they had the war caused a label shortage.
Oh, we just got to call them both Twixes now. We're out of ink.
Yep.
I think that'll about do it here. What do you
Okay.
say?
Okay.
What do you say? I think you had fun.
I had a great time. Let me tell you, I love it. I love talking to you. I'm glad I met Mike, and I love everything you do. And hopefully, we can get that kiss going.
How about this? You're going to come into the studio. We're going to do a live one. Maybe we feel how we feel.
We'll see how it goes. Yeah,
we'll see how it goes for the $300 Patreon. I'll passionately. How much money do we need to raise, Mike, for me and Matt to do a very passionate, not joke? I will put everything into it. Kiss. What's the numbers?
You'd ask Matt, not me.
We're a couple of guy with mustaches. It's going to be so you will have protection for each other's faces.
Let me add this. If you shave your left side, I'll shave my right side, and our mustaches. Yeah, and our mustaches will combine when we kiss, and it'll feel natural as one.
I don't know about that one, but
I think you would need to shave the same side so when it matched, it would be the opposite.
Oh yeah,
yeah, right. That's right, Mike. All right, so maybe Matt's in or maybe Matt's out. Maybe that's what we could do for the Patreon. If we get a certain amount of Patreon subscribers, I'll find a gay man who I find attractive who wants to kiss me, and I will try to passionately kiss them on Patreon to see how I feel. Is that a thing that people would want to see?
I think so. I think people would want to see it. That cat's already interested.
I have to ask my wife. What's your cat's name?
Zool.
Oh, cool.
No Zool. Only Gozer.
There is no Dana. Only Zool. She's great.
Wait, who was Zool and Gozer? I thought it was Gozer. Who's Zool?
Zool is not the Keymaster. I think Zool is what Sigourney Weaver becomes. Yeah.
Sigourney Weaver becomes Zool.
She becomes Zool when she's like
Zool works for Gozer.
She's like, there is no Dana, only Zool. Gozer, I believe, is the dog or the animal that jumps out at Rick Moranis' party. He's like, all right, who brought the dog? I think that's Gozer. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Well, who are the Doozers?
That's Fraggles.
Yeah. No, Gozer's the woman who appears at the end. That ghost woman.
Okay.
No Ghoul, only Greg. I don't know. That was just words. Anyway. Oh, first of all, let me just say this. And guys, thank you so much for joining me on Friday Night, Greg. We're still just kind of figuring it out, having a good time. What I need from you, this is a call to arms. First of all, before I do the call to arms, I got to follow Matt Wayne where?
At No Wayne in Hell on Instagram, or you can follow Real Wimbledon if you want some tennis news. But I have him linked in my bio. So yeah, at No Wayne in Hell on Twitter.
I'll tag you on my Instagram stuff. I'll tag you on my Instagram stuff. So
tag me up.
Follow him because it really helps us. It's just a simple follow me and mute me. I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
the followers help people know that we have value in this business. So if you got a laugh for free on this episode, follow Matt. Check out his Wimbledon videos. They're so funny. You're such a funny guy.
Thanks, bud.
I can't wait to kiss you on the $5,000 Patreon.
It's gonna be great.
I'll lick your nose, but that'll be like not as a joke. That's just how I feel.
You're not trying to get a pop out of the crowd. You're going to do it because you think I'm going to like the way it feels.
I would honestly say I feel bad. I just think that I like the way I just like a lick of a nose.
It's like Men's Warehouse. You're going to love the way you look.
You're going
to love it.
Now I'm going to do a call to arms. Matt, you can feel free to stick around or leave, but I love you. But I hate when the end of the podcast, you have to sit through their bullshit. So I'm going to do some bullshit now.
Like Bill Maher and New Rules.
Yeah, you're going to sit through New Rules.
Okay, yeah. Fuck that. No, I got to run, but this was a lot of fun, and I can't wait to come in the studio and see ya. Yeah. And let's hang out soon,
Let's hang out soon.
Oh, and the Hellhounds' names are Zool and Vin Clortho.
Wow.
Vin? There was a Vin?
Yeah, see, that's a fun piece of trivia. I didn't know that.
Well, then who's Gozer?
The woman.
That woman.
And who's Zool?
Sigourney Weaver.
And who's Vin?
Rick Moranis.
Oh, yeah, when he's like, they're giving him coffee and
they become the two Hellhounds, and then Gozer comes
what
out.
What a national treasure Rick Moranis is, huh?
Yes, he needs to be back in a real way.
I know. God bless him, though, huh? All right, thanks, Matt. And I'm going to do a call to arms and a little chat with my fans.
Thank you,
or
guys.
people who just listen. But thanks for coming on.
Of
Especially
course.
last minute.
You know, have a good day, guys.
See you soon. We got to get stoned and play golf this summer. So let's do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's like so much fun.
1,000% that's happening.
Yeah. All right. Love you, buddy.
All right. Love you too. Peace.
Now, what? Mike? What'd you say?
I said later, Matt.
All right, just checking. Now, before we go, I want to say thank you to everyone who's been following along, checking out Friday Night Greg. We've got, you know what, I'm going to tell you to try to Patreon. Got a lot of funny episodes going on up there. Also, all the old Rad Dude Cast episodes are up there. Also, the key, if you want to know where your child is, where I'm hiding them, that sign a $15 Patreon and you get to know where I've kidnapped your children. That being said, listen, if you do not subscribe to the Patreon, that's totally fine. But if you do like me, if you are enjoying this podcast, what I ask you to do, I command you, tell your friends. Rad Dude Cast is dead. So I really need everyone to help me make this. I just want more listeners. And I not to be selfish or rude. If you enjoy it, help me have other people enjoy it. Because then I can keep doing it. And that's really all I want to do is keep doing this. So when you guys tell your friends, even if you have one friend who joins, who just starts listening to me or because of you, like that's not a thing that goes unnoticed. I notice it. I love it. Tag your friends in my Instagram posts, Twitter, tell people it really makes me, I'll be honest. It just makes me feel good. It does. And that's, we're doing this for free. So if you're not subscribing to Patreon, because not a lot of people have money, and that's okay, and some people just don't want to or don't know how. Telling a friend to me is equal, and I would really appreciate if you guys could do that. Anything else, Mike?
No, that's all. Patreon, follow on social media.
Yeah, and big thanks. And I think you guys all know I love you, so thank you guys so much for being here. And we'll see you on the Patreon, which we're going to record right now, and I have no idea what we're going to talk about. So who knows? But it's going to be good. All right, bye.
Pick up your head. Pick up your body, get on the bus, it's time to party. It's Gregory, it is a Saturday night Gregory. Take your socks off and take your pants on, get in the car and drive on Friday night Gregory. It is a Saturday night Gregory. Born in the darkness, my man was too high, he created the show, so that is why that you have Gregory. Oh, Friday